The blues didn't start in stadiums. It started in rooms where women were told to stay quiet, before rock stars borrowed the sound, before the industry decided who was marketable. There were women whose voices carried pain, power, and truth the world wasn't ready for. Some were ignored, some were copied, some were erased. But every time you hear the blues today, you're hearing them. Today, we're telling the real stories of 10 blues women from the 1960s who didn't just sing the blues, they shook the world. Stay with us, because number one didn't ask for permission. She assumed it. Number 10, Me and My Chauffeur Blues. Memphis Minnie, 1960s revival recordings. A woman who had already survived vaudeville tents, Jim Crow segregation, abusive marriages, and an industry built to erase her watched the 1960s blues revival arrive and realized it was calling her name again. By the time young audiences began discovering the blues, Memphis Minnie had already lived several lifetimes inside it. She had toured the South when women weren't expected to travel alone. She had outplayed men on street corners and on records. And she had done it all while controlling her own sound in an era that rarely allowed women control of anything. Me and My Chauffeur Blues wasn't about transportation. It was about agency. A woman choosing who drives. A woman deciding where she's going. A woman refusing to be carried anywhere against her will. As British blues musicians hunted for authenticity, Minnie became the unspoken blueprint. Her guitar phrasing, her rhythmic confidence, her refusal to soften her tone, all of it quietly shaped the future of blues rock. The influence spread faster than the credit ever did. She didn't bend with the revival. The revival bent around her. Number 9, Ball and Chain. Big Mama Thornton, 1968. In 1968, Big Mama Thornton walked onto the Monterey Pop Festival stage, carrying more than a microphone. She carried decades of stolen royalties. She carried contracts she couldn't read when she signed them. She carried the knowledge that Elvis had become a star singing music she never got paid for. Ball and Chain wasn't written to win applause. It was written because silence had become unbearable. Every growl in her voice sounded earned. Every pause felt like a decision, not weakness, but restraint. Rock audiences didn't know what to do with pain that raw. This wasn't rebellion dressed up as entertainment. This was survival unfolding in real time. The performance stunned the crowd because it refused to comfort them. Janis Joplin would later popularize the song, but this version remains the emotional original, the place where the pain actually lived. Big Mama didn't ask permission to hurt on stage. She demanded witnesses. Number 8, Wang Dang Doodle. Coco Taylor, 1966. Chicago blues was loud, industrial, and masculine, until Coco Taylor kicked the door off its hinges. Wang Dang Doodle didn't ease listeners in. It dropped them straight into a room thick with sweat, smoke, and danger. There was no polish here, no apology. Just rhythm, command, and invitation wrapped into one relentless groove. Coco's voice didn't flirt with the listener. It challenged them. She sang like she belonged exactly where she stood, in a scene that had rarely made room for women who refused to soften their edges. At a time when women were expected to sweeten the blues, Coco sharpened it instead. She made toughness sound joyful. She made authority sound fun. She didn't follow the blues tradition. She expanded its borders. Number 7. Dr. Feelgood, Aretha Franklin, 1967. Before the crown, before the anthems, before the world decided who Aretha Franklin was supposed to be, she sat behind a piano and told the truth quietly.
I'll get up, put on some clothes.
Dr. Feelgood stripped away gospel armor and public expectation. This wasn't spiritual longing. It was human need, expressed without shame and without disguise.
I don't mind company.
Recorded late at night, the performance feels intimate because it was. A woman admitting desire on her own terms, not coded, not metaphorical, not softened for radio comfort.
Well, they sell, yeah, if I can, yeah.
This version of Aretha rarely appears in highlight reels, but it's the one that mattered most. Because before she became a symbol, she became honest. And that honesty changed everything that followed.
Being my mother, my brother, my father.
Before we go any further, if this music is bringing back memories or creating new ones, this channel was made for you. Groove Lens is about keeping soul music alive. Not just the hits, but the history behind them. So tap subscribe, settle in, and let's keep walking through this together. Because the best stories are still coming.
Number 6. Love Me Like a Man, Bonnie Raitt, 1969. Bonnie Raitt didn't enter the blues looking for validation. She entered it looking for understanding. By 1969, she had studied slide guitar directly from Mississippi bluesmen, musicians who rarely trusted outsiders, and even more rarely respected women in their space. She listened before she played. She learned before she recorded. Love Me Like a Man wasn't a plea. It was a boundary drawn in sound. Her version kept the blues intact while translating it for a new generation. She didn't dilute its power. She preserved it by respecting its source. Bonnie proved something critical. The blues isn't about where you're from. It's about whether you listen. She didn't inherit the blues. She earned them. Number 5. Backlash Blues, Nina Simone, 1967. The blues had always reflected suffering. Nina Simone turned it into response. Backlash Blues confronted the reality of civil rights regression with clarity that bordered on defiance.
That's the truth now. It's the truth now.
There were no metaphors to hide behind, no coded language, just truth delivered with restraint and controlled fury. This wasn't entertainment. It was documentation.
Backlash. But the words be.
Nina didn't sing to soothe the listener. She sang to educate them, and sometimes to indict them.
Black, beige, and brown. Backlash.
With this song, the blues stopped whispering its frustrations. It spoke plainly, and it refused to apologize.
All you're gonna hand me is your 2 cents.
Number 4. I'd Rather Go Blind, Etta James, 1968.
When I saw you and that girl.
This song feels fictional because the pain feels too extreme to be real. But it was.
I love you so much that I don't want to watch you.
I'd Rather Go Blind was written during a moment of emotional collapse, before healing could arrive, before perspective could soften the edges.
And I'd rather be a blind girl.
It was captured raw, exactly as it felt. Etta James didn't perform heartbreak here. She preserved it. Every phrase trembles with vulnerability. Every pause says what the lyric can't.
I was thinking, babe.
This wasn't designed to be a hit record. It became one because the truth demanded it. It wasn't a song. It was emotional evidence.
And another thing is, I don't want to be free.
Number 3. Piece of My Heart, Janis Joplin, 1968. Janis Joplin didn't reinterpret the blues. She detonated it. Piece of My Heart took traditional blues suffering and amplified it for a rock generation that needed volume to feel truth. Her voice cracked, not from technique, but from necessity. Control would have ruined it. Restraint would have lied. Janis sang like someone running out of time, because in many ways she was. There was no distance between her and the pain she voiced. She wasn't pretending to suffer. She was surviving out loud. Number 2, Fool in Love. Ike and Tina Turner, 1960. Summer 1960, a Los Angeles recording studio. Ike Turner needed a demo singer. The scheduled vocalist didn't show up. Anna Mae Bullock, soon to be known as Tina Turner, stepped up to the microphone as a backup option. What happened next changed music history. Fool in Love erupted with an energy nobody expected. Tina's voice, raw, powerful, completely untrained, tore through the speakers. She wasn't just singing the lyrics. She was living them, fighting them, owning them. The song shot to number 2 on the R&B chart and number 27 on the pop chart. It launched Ike and Tina Turner into stardom. But even in this first recording, you could hear it. Tina's voice was too big, too powerful, too undeniable. She was already outgrowing the role of backup singer. Fool in Love was just the beginning. The world just didn't know it yet. Number 1, I'm a Woman. Coco Taylor, 1966.
When I was a little girl.
This wasn't metaphor. This wasn't suggestion. This was declaration. I'm a woman turned blues into identity. Autonomy, pride, and ownership wrapped in rhythm and conviction. In a decade shaped by cultural upheaval, the song didn't ask for space. It assumed it. The voice was confident because it needed no permission. The message landed because it was already true. The 1960s didn't give these women their power. They claimed it, and the world adjusted.